you've been creating some content on Instagram, some short content, but enjoyable content and quality content.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, there was like this MF Doom video.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about like the creativity as well, because, okay, you can take pictures, you can find an angle, catch somebody in their, their natural face and, without posing, also capturing the moment, authentic moments, but actually creating something is, once again, that's another level. Mm-hmm. That's another step that you're taking. So when it comes to creating videos, coming up with a concept, how did you always have that in you, or is this something that you kind of blossomed into?
I think it's something I blossomed into, because even with the photos, all of my inspiration was like from music. Like that's where I always get my inspiration from, music. So like going down to like the first photo shoot I did with my friend Gibby, and to the MF Doom one, it all came down to like music. Like with that one, like with the business photo shoot I did with her, it was more so like a Beyonce theme one. It wasn't even supposed to be like that. We were supposed to shoot that on like a mock plane somewhere in Atlanta, but that studio had like closed or whatever. But it all comes down to music for me, like how I get certain inspirations. Like I hear a lyric in a song, like, oh, I want to like make like the lyric an actual theme of a photo shoot or a video.
Okay. So, this is interesting, because you also, okay, so you mentioned the Beyonce. Mm-hmm. You have an MF Doom video, and you also have an Outkast one that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Me and You. That
Elevators,
song.
yeah.
There we go. Elevators, in quotation marks, Me and You. Mm-hmm. There we go, from AT-Aliens. So let's just pick one. Mm-hmm. And because I like AT-Aliens, that's that's one of my favorite Outkast albums. So can you walk us through the process of creating this video? And by the way, if you want to see the video, you got to follow my man, Jadon, on Instagram.
Listen. So like for that, I had my friend Brandon. We're both like big Outkast fans. Like we love Outkast. So I knew I always wanted to do something to that song, and I knew it meant more to me because I actually live in East Point. I actually like drive past Headland and Delow all the time. Like anytime I'm driving somewhere, I'm always passing there. So I wanted to shoot there. It was actually supposed to be a photo shoot at first, but the photos, I didn't really like them. So we did more of a kind of like Atlanta type of vibe to that song and everything. And I knew I wanted him posted up on the corner of the Headland and Delow sign so we could see it.
Mm-hmm. And capturing angles. Mm-hmm. Is there a real strategy when you go into these things? Do you go in like kind of, if it's not just storyboarding on a piece of paper, do you mentally storyboard or just know the certain shots that you want to take?
I think it's a mix of both. Like sometimes I do a lot of pre-production, like having a certain shot I want in mind beforehand, but some of it's like it's a spur of the moment. Like I'll say, hey, I want this shot, and then we'll go here or wherever, So I think it's a healthy mix of both. I don't think everything should be like stick to rigidly on the paper and everything unless it's like a commercial shoot. But for personal, I think it's like a good mix of having both. Like if you see something out that you didn't anticipate for, shoot that,
Mm-hmm. All right. Let me ask you this, because this is in the same line of thinking with the videos that you've made. Mm-hmm. You made a potent one.
Yeah.
You made an important one. You've made a very vulnerable one, I would say, right? About mental health and more so men's mental health. And I don't want to talk too much about it. I'd rather have you explain because you're the creator. Can you take us through this piece of cinema?
So I always had like feelings of depression. Like even in high school, we always joked about it. Like, we finna do X, Y, Z to ourselves. Please don't do that, kids. Go see a real therapist. Not like I did. But it was always something that was in the back of my mind. Like I felt those feelings, and I just felt like a way to get it out. Initially, I'm not even like a camera person for real. Initially, I was more of a poet. Like I always wrote stuff, but that really didn't get the feelings out that I wanted to express because I'd only show like my friends and everything. But it was like a culmination of all of that into one video. Like I knew I felt all those things, and it was like bent up inside of me. Like I had to get it out somehow. So I just filmed that over a course of days, and it worked out that, a lot of people resonated with it.
And for the people who don't know anything about this video, can you describe what was going on?
It's basically a conversation with myself, like, the different version of myself, and even like extension outside of myself, but like we as men have with ourselves, because we always do. We just never expose it to the world and everything. So kind of a conversation with like my anxiety and everything, and the opposite side of that, this person's trying to heal, and I'm just stuck in the middle of between these two people.
Thanks for watching the Cool Hand Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can also watch and listen to the Cool Hand Podcast on Spotify. Easy.